This week, we discuss goofy campaign ads, board games, staying creative during hard times, Star Wars, and dumb antiquated internet jokes. Also, Riley steals the Space Jam website and reverse engineers it for his own needs. So, gather around the internet campfire, everyone, because it's episode 6 of Let's Regroup. Hey everybody, welcome to this late night sleepy edition of Let's Regroup, the podcast where we get off topic, but we'll get there eventually. I'm your host Casey, and I'm joined with two guests. First off is staple character Rolls.
Hello.
And then we also have, new to the show, but old to our hearts, is Riley.
Old to our hearts. Can I get like a name tag?
Sure.
Awesome.
3D print that name tag.
I'll get right on that. I'm gonna like duct tape it to my face. Down.
So I want to open with the fact that, Riley, this podcast in general was partially your idea, and this is the first time you're actually on it.
You know, I would say it just like in real life, I'm late to the party, except I'm never late in real life, so I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's just kind of how it works. But, you know, I'm glad that we could generate the idea, and I'm glad that I could finally be on here and partake. Yeah.
To give some background, Riley and I were like the founding members of our previous podcast that was...
Groupcast existed, and
it existed.
We did it on Awu that one time.
Which I still can't believe happened. I feel like, to give some background... Achievement Hunter, I don't think they still do it anymore, but they used to have just a weekly 5-minute show where they would talk about whatever's going on in gaming or
wonderful.
Yeah, and then they had one where they were like, hey, if you know someone famous or think you're famous, show us a clip of you being with that famous person and maybe we'll put it in our show in the opening. And between, like, Charles Martinet and, who's that really famous violinist? I don't remember what her name is.
Lindsay Sterling?
Yeah, Lindsay Sterling was on there, too. And, like, right after that, it was our 4 hick asses, or 5 hick asses.
I was using a cane because that was after Wes messed up my ankle. We were propped up, I want to say, in front of the escort, right?
Yeah, something like that. We were outside of Dan's house, our friend Dan's house. And just, like, when I saw that, I was equal parts shocked and, like, elated. The fact that happened, and nothing came of it.
No, but did we expect anything to come of it?
Maybe not.
But that was a moment of, honestly, the only moment of prestige for that podcast.
Pretty much, and we had that... I drug that corpse through the mud for 4 years.
I mean, you did well with it. I listened to it occasionally.
I thought it was pretty good in, like, the latter half. Like, starting in maybe 2015, I thought we hit a good stride.
Oh, yeah, once you fully lost me, I see how it is. Except I left in, like, 2014, so I can't say anything. But
actually, it's funny you should say that. Our last episode, all of us that were on that episode were lamenting that the 2 funniest people... that being you and our other friend Kyle, were the ones that left. And we were left with this shambling corpse of a show.
That's okay. One of these days we'll bring other Kyle back.
Yeah.
There's a real moment there, though, because you said about, you know, this is a weird comparison, but the funniest people leaving, affecting things. Like, look at all the stuff that, I mean, I shared a Rooster Teeth video with you before, but look at all the stuff of just people that have left, like, let's say Funhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Not officially still working together, but not an official part of the group.
Yeah, that's true.
Anymore. And it's just like, wow, this is different.
Yeah.
Not necessarily bad, but it's just a different show now. I'm referencing Bruce pretty much exclusively right now.
Oh, okay. I was so sad when Lawrence left, of all people.
Yeah, well, no, you know what's crazy? Not to interrupt you, but you
okay.
just reminded me. As soon I was thinking about that, like, because it was like 2 weeks after, and I was like, wow, I wonder who's gonna really pick up like the kind of crazy energy that I was like, oh, well, Lawrence could do it. And then like literally, I read that night on Twitter, he's posting like why he's officially leaving too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that is an insane coincidence. Number one, but number two, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. It's still been some hilarious stuff afterwards I've seen from both of them. So
yeah. And Funhouse, even though it's largely a different crew of people, it's still basically the same sort of goofness.
my favorite era was when both Spool and Joel were still there as well.
I love
It's
Joel.
Right, like, and then like Lawrence had just came in. Like they were so loaded with talent at one time.
Yeah. My
Go
my favorite Joel quote. I think it was a demo disc where James turns around and is like, "Hey Joel, stop editing for a second. What are all the key components of a musical?" And he goes, "Music and joy."
He had so many good ones too. The hernia song. Like, just this is, and Bruce, all of his song tributes were, this is for my friend Joel. And then he does the demo disc version of "Sorry" by Bieber.
Oh my god. So many great eras.
Anyway, I see the parallels with, I was going to say too, between the two of you working together before, and obviously, and then like us working together, because we just met up and recorded audio.
Yeah.
Last week. Well, we talked about it in that podcast too, but it's just like, I think the people that have a similar creative vibe, like, just find each other, and then like, right as you approached me about this idea for a podcast again too, I swear to God, I was like a week away from thinking like, I should really do more stuff with him.
Yeah.
It's just like these random things happen, and it's like, well, no, this is not meant to happen or whatever, but it's just like two people that are just creatively in sync tend to want to work with each other and be around each other. So,
and it's crazy too.
It's really
like,
cool that everything's back to this episode.
The people that we used to know for our old show, that we've now picked up for our new show, it's almost 1-to-1, because I equate my friend Noah, who was on episode 2,
who I will listen to soon,
to very much be a Kyle, in which he is just so naturally hilarious. Like, I can't even I can't even express. But yeah, we have a wonderful cast of characters here, and I think it's working out pretty well for us so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said at the beginning of our first ever episode, like, not only is this a chance for other people who are listening to kind of like take a break from the insanity that is happening outside, but it's also a chance for us to kind of like reconvene and decompress.
Mm-hmm.
Which is,
I think it's also
on all ends.
Yeah. I think it's also interesting because so many people that Casey, like your friend group is different from mine. We have crossover friends and everything, but just to hear new perspectives and people that it's like, well, we're going to challenge each other's views a little bit, but it's going to be in a fun discussion, and we're going to see where it goes. Like, that is the most positive way ever to like express any anxiety or anger we have at like what's going on in the world at the moment.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
We have people stopping in black vans and picking people up off the street. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh god, yeah, that's.
Wait, is that a thing that happened in the news or something?
It happened in Portland.
Yes. Yeah, in Portland.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
It's
they're
pretty
SUVs, I think, technically, and then there was the white vans in Baltimore.
Yeah, they're just like stopping and picking up the protester kids and throwing them in. Like, it's really secret policey stuff. But then we've also got a great set of memes coming from it.
Oh yeah, the memes are hilarious.
Where people are like, "Oh, it's your chance now, Second Amendment guys, to defend people," which is funny. But then like, my argument is like, I'm not defending anybody else.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
don't know
know-
if you're a Second Amendment guy or not. Amendment, what the fuck? Anyway, amendment guy or not. But yeah, like if it happens here, I will do it. But I am not traveling for it.
Well, it's funny too because like the other side has a point too, where it's like the people that want to. Now I know this isn't fact, but it's always just exaggeration of the truth. But the people that want to take away your right to own an assault rifle and stuff are now like, help me, they're abducting me. Like, so it's an interesting dichotomy because like both sides are too.
If only I had brought my bazooka.
Both sides are just like too stupid to understand. Like there's nuance in communication.
Well, that's the fun thing about straw manning the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
You can endlessly make fun of either side for equally dumb reasons.
Can I? This is something I wanted to talk about because I saw two versions of this commercial now.
Okay.
It's the election, right?
2020. It is an election year.
The dumpster fire of 2020. Yes, go on.
2020. Anyway, continue.
Yes, So there was a commercial where it's just like a answering machine at a desk with a light flashing on and off, and it's an automated, like press 1 for, but it's like, we're sorry, the police are too busy right now. If you require immediate assistance, press 1 for assault. Press 2, and then basically the tagline is, "You won't be safe in Joe Biden's America." He's wanting to defund the police, which cutting budget is a lot different from having no police on the street whatsoever.
Right, but, exactly.
I think it was yesterday or the day before, when I was at work, we had the TV on in the living room. There was a great commercial that came on. Great because of how bad it was. Let me clarify. But it was an old lady sitting in like her like recliner or her rocking chair, and just hanging out and watching TV. And it cuts outside to a burglar with a crowbar and just your stereotypical like TV burglar.
Okay.
Trying to break in, and she's calling on the phone frantically, like, "Oh my God, I need help!" But, someone's breaking into my, like, she's thinking to herself, she's nervous, hitting all these buttons, navigating menus. But it's like, we're sorry, the police cannot respond right now. And it's like, if you vote for Biden, Nana's gonna get her shit stolen, okay? You gotta understand this. So I wanted to get a copy of this commercial.
Right.
For the show to put in the links, and I found a version, the old one, but this newer one where Nana gets jacked wasn't on YouTube. So I just went for the shits of it. I went to Donald Trump YouTube.
Okay.
Is it on there?
Yeah, he has his own channel. The majority of the most recent videos are like 11-second clips. It's like Joe Biden calls COVID-19 COVID-9. He's literally like posting or his campaign's posting shit videos and bite-sized versions to humiliate Biden to be like, I never did this. This is what YouTube has provided for
He's trying to
politics
bring
in
Vine
general.
Back.
Yeah.
Trying to TikTok out the Chinese stolen
Not
information.
in my America.
Not on my watch.
I love saying that ironically. Not in my America, over completely menial things.
Yes. It's
like, what?
just...
There are no clean forks. Not in my America.
My America has the cleanest, the sharpest prongs.
It is just so...
It's so goofy.
Not nauseating to see a situation like... This is what politics have become. This is what... With YouTube, I mean, there's like CNN taking down some channels I watch that were trying to do live commentary over it and live streaming to YouTube.
I remember
like all the CNN logos are there to be seen, and they're saying, this is this is a commentary. It's transformative work that someone can watch for free on CNN's YouTube for free, so it's not like you have to have cable, but they're still copyright claiming it.
Yeah, but if you wanted to commentate over CNN's stuff, then that's a no-no. Can't do that.
exactly. Even though the volume is turned way down, just to see the reaction of the candidates as they're being asked questions, as opposed to like, we don't care what your anchor has to think or how they're throwing to break, But on the extreme opposite end of it are these little TikTok Joe Biden is an old man videos. It's
can't.
like, you got range, YouTube.
It's really incredible, isn't it?
2020 is such a fascinating year for so many reasons.
It's not just a dumpster fire. It is a dumpster on fire inside of another dumpster that is on fire.
That is currently surfboarding in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. And
I was just going to say, water is involved somehow. It is this dumpster is mobile.
Oh, yeah.
It's a surfing dumpster. It's our new character, Surfing Dumpster Derek.
I just really hope Surfing Dumpster Derek has like 3 pairs of sunglasses. He's wearing a pair. It's still a dumpster, by the way, but he's wearing a pair. He has a pair on top of the dumpster fire, and then he has a pair like there's like this giant dumpster is wearing a polo shirt. It's unbuttoned, and there's just a pair of sunglasses down there too.
So he's the Chad / Kyle of dumpster.
Oh yeah, he is.
Oh,
Bunga dudes, God is dead, and so are you.
That's more Derek. That embodies the Derek name. Let's be real. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. That's not the correct tagline, but we're keeping it. Spoiler alert. If you're named Derek, that's how you act.
He tried to go to that fire festival. He bought tickets. He was, the only dumpster that could go.
He did make an Instagram post about how upset he was about the fact that he got scammed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And to show off his new pair of sunglasses.
I went to an abandoned island and all I got was this crappy T-shirt.
No, he doesn't wear shirts like that. Underneath his polos, he wears shirts that say things like, "All I do is eat and fuck."
Or "I fuck on the first date."
But they're under the polos. You don't see it until he takes it off on the first date.
There you go. You can't be more on the nose than wearing a shirt that says "I fuck on the first date" on the first date.
There's something to be said about showcasing your life.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
like
since
the people who put "I eat ass" on their cars.
Oh God. Remember, guys, eat ass, smoke grass, and sled fast.
Amen.
Okay.
May he forever be in our hearts.
There you go. That was from. Do you guys remember the important videos playlist from a couple years back?
Yes.
That was one of the videos. It was a kid on one of those cheap plastic sleds in the middle of a mall, and he's like, "Hey guys, it's Dan the Meme Man, reminding you to eat ass, smoke grass, and sled fast." And it hard cuts to a security guard coming after him, and he like sleds down an escalator, and the guy who's filming is like, Dan, sled team!" And he just shouts, "Sled team!" and he's running away. It's great.
Is that the video? That's the video that had like the singing dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah, the one's like, "Bow, bow, 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 bow." Yee. Exactly.
Yeah, then the guy like blew a stuffed Barney's head off. Yeah, I remember that playlist.
Exactly. Oh, there's a lot of great ones there. I'll put that in the links. It's a 4-hour long video, but it's great.
It's gonna have to exist in the links.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, since I have us on this silliness train, I got something for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Go on.
Unexperts. Hey everybody, it's Unexperts. This is our podcast within a podcast where we answer terrible questions and give terrible advice.
Oh man, that's like my day job. Let's do it.
All right, so
Welcome to Love Line.
yeah, so this is something I picked up from the subreddit relationship advice.
Oh no.
It was several paragraphs long, but I shortened it a little bit. So I'm gonna read this, and we have to come up with the best solution to this problem we can. Okay, ready?
All right.
My 22 female boyfriend, my 22 female boyfriend, 27 male, is afraid to wash his belly button. I thought I would try going down on him while we were getting frisky. When I was sliding down, I got a whiff of something pungent. Weird, but I let it go, because we had other things to do. Another time, I smelled it again and couldn't let it go. I asked him if he smelled anything weird, and he said he didn't notice anything. But I started playfully sniffing around until I got a huge whiff right at his belly button. I tried to poke it, and his mood changed immediately, and he got extremely defensive and wouldn't let me touch him at all. Eventually, I got it out of him that he does not like having his belly button touched so much that he doesn't even clean it. He won't even put his finger in it, not even for a few seconds. He says he has nightmares about his finger going all the way through. I don't think I'm going to be able to get over someone thinking their finger is going to pop their belly button like a Capri Sun straw and letting it get so filthy that it reeks. What the fuck do I do? Is this normal? That's from Smelly Belly.
Well, Smelly Belly. Well, first and foremost, that's perfectly normal. I too don't want. No, actually, that's a lie. Wow.
Perfectly normal, perfectly healthy.
I can't.
I'm just stealing all of Adam Carolla's sayings from Loveline now.
There you go. I can't reconcile the fact that there is someone who has such an unkempt belly button that you can noticeably smell it even when you're not near it.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I keep myself completely scrupulously clean all the time, except for this one small area.
Listen, I'm not an expert on belly buttons. Not to get too deep in the belly button.
Deep.
Exists there. Yeah. I have a weird innie-outie belly button. So, like, if I don't clean mine just, it just is weird.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't understand how, one, if you have what they call the inner belly button, because I'm assuming
that's what this is that we're dealing with. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know. That's just terrifying. So terrifying. But honestly, the fact that there could potentially be a void inside this man's stomach is very plausible.
Yeah, I think that I don't think he's worried so much that, he's gonna pop it somehow. I think he's afraid that there is legitimately a portal inside there that, goes to some rusty, old World War II bunker or something.
Oh no, is that where Hitler is?
Maybe, that's where he's been the whole time. He's 135 or something.
Yeah, but in belly button years, he's only 2 years older than he was.
Oh. They say he went to Brazil or something.
Well, that's where it goes. It goes to the Brazilian belly button bunker.
The Brazilian belly button bunker.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the title of this podcast. Wow.
I mean, if you're...
Oh, man,
that's... For a stab at a serious piece of advice, just tell him he needs to wash his belly button.
They had that conversation already.
Yeah,
according to a part that I cut out, basically, she approached him and was like, hey, this is weird, you should clean it. And he's like, no, I'm not going to.
Well,
I would ask him if he knows how ridiculous he sounds. Honestly.
I can respect the fact that he is completely terrified of potentially reaching into the void. Honestly, I could respect that. But what she needs to do is to prove him wrong. So she just needs to, in the middle of the night when this man is sleeping, she just needs to, pour dry shampoo on his belly button. And then just see what happens.
Dry shampoo? No, just go, straight rubbing alcohol in there. Kill whatever bacteria is hiding there.
No, dry shampoo isn't going to, make him hate his life.
Spray it with bleach.
As somebody who uses IPA all the time for the printer bed, God, that smells terrible. And, I mean, apparently so does his belly button. But, do you really want IPA mixed... Oh, God, what if it could just catch on fire? What if there's friction in there?
Ooh, that could be.
Potentially in the hole, there's, a lantern that is currently unhooded.
You never know. You never know what might be hiding in that bunker.
It could be anything.
You guys know there actually is, from the SCP Foundation, there is an article about a portal to a bunker, an airplane bunker, inside of a woman's nose.
Oh. So that's closer than... Oh, man. Honestly, that's probably what what was it? Smelly belly?
Smelly
button?
belly.
Smelly belly. Smelly belly, because we know that you're an avid listener, and we appreciate it as always. Your actual piece of advice is, honestly, to see a therapist with your boyfriend, couples counseling even, and definitely bring a copy of that article, because it could be generated from the Foundation.
And even though genuine advice is great, fuck that noise. What you need to do is get a couple of those Febreze clip things that you put in your car.
God, don't clip it in his belly button.
No, you gotta do it. You gotta do it at least once. Just once. Whether while he's sleeping, like give him like a full Nelson and like make him pass out a little bit. Whatever it takes. Sometimes sacrifices are what you need to do in the name of romance.
Is she sacrificing or is he sacrificing?
Both in this case. That's what it's all about.
And honestly, you might need to toss in an actual sacrifice there. Like, if there is a void hole, you need to get it closed.
This is a piece of advice that my own mother has given me, and for some reason I can never get it out of my head. The secret to having a great relationship with someone is finding things you don't like about them and not liking them the least.
Hold on, let me try to unjumble that in my mind.
I think I understand your concept, but your wording...
Yeah, the wording was
the way she
terrible.
words it?
No.
Is that the way that she... Okay.
So you find what you don't like about them, and then you decide that I don't dislike these things as much as I thought.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, it's essentially... Well, some call it Stockholm Syndrome, but others call it finding a common ground and making those sacrifices. And I forget the word that I'm supposed to have. Wow, this is what happens when you record at 11:11 on a Friday night.
These are exciting times. What did you do on a Friday night? Oh, I recorded a podcast.
Yeah. Double podcasting this week. That's the way to do it.
Oh yeah, you have another podcast. Is that...
I do, because we had talked about us podcasting, and then another buddy of mine came up and was like, we're starting a podcast. And I'm like, yeah, that would be cool. He's like, no, we're starting a podcast.
It's
and
happening.
You can't currently see the look, but you can probably hear the tone of voice of the face that I did when I said we're starting a podcast. Well, we started a podcast. So
How long ago was that?
That was in May, 10 weeks ago.
Oh
March.
wow, okay. They got us
10 weeks
beat.
ago. I think May. I want to say May. Yeah, I do, but it's not a competition. It's
Well, no, of course not.
one. It's completely different, and it's a whole different concept. It's actually, which we can transition into my topic later on, but it's actually board games.
Yeah.
So it's not even like a similar idea, but we can coexist. I actually, not that we have a lot of listeners, but I did shout you guys out.
All right, cool.
Okay.
On the other one.
What's that one called so I can put it in the links?
Okay, I didn't want to just.
Nah, fuck it. We'll put it in there.
Yeah. It's actually called Desks and Dorks. I can toss you the website.
Sure.
That was actually originally the name for, I wanted to do a D&D live play.
Uh-huh.
But it never happened, and I just figured that's a good one for it.
I dig it, actually. It's pretty good. It's better than the name of the Discord group that I created for our Dungeons and Dragons campaign called Dunces and Dargans.
I mean, that's pretty great, though.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the name of a SpongeBob episode. I don't know.
I have so much minimal knowledge of SpongeBob. I don't even know.
Adventures in a Dank, Dark Place. That is the name of the most literal Dungeons and Dragons group. It got real quiet all of a sudden.
I was very confused where you were going with that.
SpongeBob episode.
I don't know SpongeBob. I don't know SpongeBob either. I was low-key trying to steer us away from SpongeBob.
And now look what you've done.
I don't want to repeat of Animal Crossing from last week. All right.
No, guys. Okay, so this is one of those things that I just need to real quick toss in that in the links, you guys are going to see. I work at a prominent fashion company that's not going to be named, but is going to be linked, so you're going to figure it out pretty dang quickly. But I'm just going to send you pictures, or maybe we won't like it. I want to send you a couple pictures that if you whoever is listening gets a chance to check the link dump, the links. As you call it,
yes.
That beautiful mythical beast that isn't actually mythical, but ours is. They sell the weirdest SpongeBob shirts, the most demonic SpongeBob shirts.
Oh no! I mean, I was in there the other day and I saw some weird things. I can't remember any of them off the top of my head, but I know there were some weird ones.
I'm sad that I wasn't in there. The one day that I actually was off.
That store, again, not naming what it is so beige.
This time, yes, it changes periodically.
Okay.
You kind of steered me away from what store I was thinking it was by saying the word beige.
I'm very beige, really curious what store you think it is.
Well, I'm going by my.
But you can.
No, I'm going by my memory of just like being a younger teen in middle school, and it's the store that had all the weird shit that people would wear. Then was Hot Topic. It would have.
I do not work at a Hot Topic.
I didn't think you did. But it is it had all those weird like semi-emo shirts and whatnot. It's the Icon has Cookie and all that. Shit people wore. Yeah.
Forgot about those. Also, they got rid of the real crazy one off the website. So let me see if I can find it. I'm pretty sure I still have a picture of it. So that'll be sent to the links later.
Yes, I will make sure that goes in there.
Oh yeah, those are. I sent one into the group chat that will be seen as it needs to be. Even though that one's pretty appropriate, it's just SpongeBob dropping to the deck and flopping like a fish.
So hey, board games, am I right?
Hey man, how about those board games? But yeah, I actually. It's all board game related as our podcast. We're we're working through a March Madness bracket of board game ideas and creating board game ideas and mechanics to Highlander, the one true board game that shall get made.
The one true board game to rule them all.
Indeed.
So it's kind of like, I mean, it's not this, but when you said that, it reminded me of Screen Junkies movie fights, where they basically take two either movies or concepts from movies and try to argue one way or the other over which is the better one.
Yeah, concept-wise, I definitely see what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's very much what it is. Like, it's literally, and then we get people's input on what it is, on what they like and prefer, and depending on the amount of votes is how it progresses.
Okay, neat. So you told me the other day that your time in quarantine has given you raw creative energy, and you are throwing together like a board game of your own, right?
So it's actually through the podcast, but yes, I've been working multiple board games of my own because I've had the time and the energy to not just like come up with these board game ideas, but to actually like create concepts and like mock-ups and really get heavy into these games each week. So like each week, instead of just creating an idea, like the other week I straight up like made a board out of dry erase index cards and 3D printed red pandas for Red Panda Redemption, which is a game where you play as 8-year-old. Well, this is the backstory to it. You just play as Red Panda Cowboys. Okay. But in my mind, you play as 8-year-olds and like 8 to 10-year-old red pandas that are dreaming that they're cowboys and living life as red pandas think that cowboys do.
That sounds fantastic.
So like you wrangle up some cattle, and you have the option of wrangling up some cattle, and just stuff like that. So I straight up like make up the that's the type of thing that I've been doing with the board games. I haven't been getting as heavy yet. Our winner, actually, we are going to make whatever ends up. We had 20 game ideas.
Okay.
Whatever game wins, him and I are going to make.
That's pretty cool.
My partner that convinced me to start it is actually I'm not going to name the board game company, but he does a lot of reviews and like educational things with them.
Okay.
Related to their board games, and then he has not with that company, but he has a game that's actually in production right now that is in its final stages.
That's really awesome.
It's going to be released hopefully soon. The whole point, this timeline that we're in currently really messed up a lot of things for a lot of people. So
yeah.
It's TBD instead of having a hard date, but
that's pretty much what happened with me. I created a party card game between
Rhetorical Oracle, right?
Yes. So to give a brief explanation, I'll throw this in the links too. Why not? To give a brief explanation, the idea is you have all of these different archetypes of cards. Usually they're from like just general fantasy archetypes like trolls, elves, dwarves, and then some other like more nuanced and niche things as characters. And then you have items that also come from fantasy and fairy tales, and then you have the locations. And the idea is every round you have a location where a fictional battle is going to take place, and everybody has to look in their hand of characters and items, and they have to choose which they think is going to best win in a fight in that particular place. And in the way of like apples to apples or Cards Against Humanity, you have to decide who that you would be the winner, but there's also a judge who makes the final say and then has to tell a story explaining who wins.
So it's similar, obviously different, but similar to, I think it's Story Wars is what it's called. It kind of brings ideas to mind.
Yeah.
Obviously, it definitely has its own take on it, its own life.
Yeah, so Story War was my inspiration for that. And I thought that I could, this is incredibly materialistic of me, but I thought I could do that better. So that's what I did. And then there's also hidden in the deck of the battlefield cards, the location cards, are cards that change the rules of the game, so that adds an extra level of chaos to it. And I did extensive play testing with it, and to really, really positive results. And I have currently one copy, and that's it, because that's as far as I got before I had to stop. But yeah, I think it's pretty fun. I made a whole instructional video on how to play it, and I used that same sort of dry, goofy humor that I use for everything.
I was gonna say, don't feel like you said you felt like a materialistic thought. I think I can do this better. I think that comes from like any kind of creativity that you want to do. You at least have to think that a little bit.
Well, sure.
Or else, why would you? Or I have something to contribute,
right?
Or I have something worthwhile, because if not, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You guys are with board game and tabletop stuff, and I'm just doing the writing that I have been, and I actually in the middle of the night it was going to come this Monday, but it's coming later. I just ordered like a bass guitar.
Oh yeah.
Let me get back into music again, like, because I have my keyboard and stuff too. It's just like I'm gonna try to force myself to schedule like all these different things I want to get involved with creatively, and just pursue it all at once, I guess. I don't know. I mean, my work has really been unaffected during this whole lockdown and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't call myself a frontline hero, but I provide services every day of health,
right,
and whatnot. So my scheduling was never affected, but it's just ever since I'll just be blunt about it. I'm making a little bit more money. It's like I'm relaxed and like I'm able to like breathe a little bit more creatively.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. I feel like if you're just worried about like working all the time, you're not going to really enjoy. Your mind's going to be preoccupied with the stat, and then you're going to be exhausted and not have the drive to do something creative. You just like sit and watch TV, which has its place too. But you know,
I mean, that's kind of what happened to me. So like I mentioned before on podcast before, but I didn't lose my job, but I'm unable to work at the moment, which leaves a lot of empty space for, I don't know. So I've just been like, I had an explosion of creative energy to try and force the existential dread away. Like I've been all over the place trying to just make things in order to keep my brain occupied, because it's hard. It's hard when you have nowhere to go and nothing to do, and you have to try and say, okay, I have all of this time. What can I possibly do with that is actually productive?
Yeah, it's not an easy time. Like quarantine hit me very hard because working retail and clothing retail, which is classified as a necessity, but not during quarantine-esque, a pandemic.
Right.
So, yeah, sitting at home for weeks, I was off work for just under 90 days.
Yikes.
So it was an experience. I can understand. It's not easy to fill that time. I ended up playing 3 different D&D campaigns, starting that podcast and creating the board games and everything, building a treehouse and doing a bunch of other things.
Oh, wow.
Props to you for keeping active, keeping yourself busy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing you can do is, well, 1, try and keep in touch with people, and 2, try and just like keep yourself occupied with whatever you can think of. Idleness is awful, to put it bluntly.
Yeah, you gotta exercise those brain muscles.
Yeah, because like one other thing that I did, I basically, in order to try and figure out where my priorities were, because I'm the type of person who's like, I have this incredibly enormous project in mind that is in my head, and I want to try and make it happen. Like, my need to make enormous projects is severely underhanded by my lack of perseverance. So, like, sometimes I follow through, but most of the time I'll do something for like a couple weeks and I'll be like, man, I'm gonna shelve this for later. But the good news is that having all this spare time has allowed me to actually get some stuff done that I've been having on the back burner for ages. Like I participate every year in NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month, in which the challenge is to write 50,000 words in 30 days, which equates to about 1,700 words every day, roughly.
Wow.
And last year I succeeded, but the year before I started an IP that I was like, this is a great idea. I really want to try and explore this because it's a genre I never did before. And I didn't finish it, but I finally finished it after 2 years of just sitting on it. And that was incredibly gratifying to actually have a project that I could say, yeah, I did that. I finally did a thing to be super millennial about it.
No, I understand. It's actually... to get into a little background of this episode, we were having issues knowing if we had time to do it and scheduling a time, just because of different factors. But one thing I wanted to say in the Discord, but then I talked with you privately, and I wasn't gonna I like to ruffle people's feathers, but then when I'm like, oh, here's the reason why, I'm not gonna really press it anymore. But the one thing that I was gonna say was something along the lines of like, I don't want this to go the way of other things we've done together, where it's like it's a cool idea. Like I'm really thinking of the one big creative plan that was made with like
I remember that.
Lennon, like the homeschool rocket science whatnot, and it went for a while, but it's not that we didn't have the drive to do it. It's just everyone didn't have the time to have that creative freedom, like because you have to work and you have to like your obligations if you live with family or whatever.
And I moved. I moved during that.
Yeah, and you have to be able to dedicate an amount of time to your creative process, which is like one of the positives that came out of this whole thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I understand what you mean. It's a lack of follow through. And I'm the kind of person that like every 3 to 4 months I'll think about something like that. And I'll be like, I wonder what could have happened if we really would have moved into a place together or something.
Yeah.
Like to just like be in like super close proximity to always make content at a moment's notice, and like it's a novel idea, but it's like there's so much behind it that presents issues too. It's like way back before we even worked together, when I was doing stuff with Lennon, it was like there are so many things, and I'm happy that he's doing Twitch still like himself down there now, you know?
Yeah.
And every time I've contacted him, he's always like, yeah, you want to do something, we have to set it up or whatever. But it's just the sticking to doing something is hard when you're not seeing a result, and it's not like someone's got to kind of be the cheerleader of the team.
Yeah, pretty much.
And keep it going, you know?
That's really...
And it's hard to always be that.
Yeah, definitely.
That, I was told by multiple people that... This is so stupid. I was told by multiple people, hey, don't do a podcast. It's like the modern day equivalent of starting a band. It's like...
It is.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, hey guys, we should start a podcast together. It's gonna be great. And I was told by multiple people, like, don't do it because, like, you have to commit to that. And if you build an audience and then you suddenly, like, circumstances change, what do you do? But I basically had the mentality of, I'm doing this for me, which is why like, not to take away from any of you guys, because like you guys are doing a phenomenal job of helping me through this, but like I'm the one who's editing the podcast, I'm the one who's largely creating all the social media posts and everything. So like if I don't stay at that core of I'm doing this for me, it's all gonna go fall into pieces basically.
It makes perfect sense. I think that there are two kind of ways to operate a creative endeavor that I've seen work from companies that we've watched and from like individual people, where it's like, this is my team, I'm leading it, I'm doing everything, and like everyone else is kind of featured with it. Like the thing that comes to mind first is, and I don't like him, I like his former colleagues way more than him, but like the Nostalgia Critic, for example, where it's like, I'm the star of Channel Awesome and you guys are, here with me, but like the other guys are more talented.
Right, exactly.
But so there's that thing where like there's a figurehead leading. Like another thing that pops into my mind just because I listen to the podcast is like the Adam Carolla show, where it's, you have different co-hosts, or like Howard Stern, you'll have different co-hosts, but it's always the same driving force. And if you see yourself in that position, that is absolutely fine. And it's working because you're the constant character. So far, I've been constant, but that's not a guarantee.
Sure.
But you're always going to be there. You're going to be the host,
Right.
So that works for that. The other approach that people do is, we talked about a little earlier, like Funhouse or Rooster Teeth, where it's like, this is a collective group together. So like when one person leaves, wow, you really see the impact they had on the group, or you feel, oh wow, it's different because so-and-so's gone, But on the negative that doesn't have, like by you leading it, is like, Rolls isn't featured on this episode, or Noah's not on this episode. Well, Casey's still there, and he's leading things.
Yeah. That's why I still will always love Funhouse. I mean, I know it's entirely possible that there may come a day where James and Adam, who are the only ones left with like the original crew, If they were to
Yeah.
leave, it will be a completely different show, but I still like that because the personalities that are there are still like they're still interesting enough, and they're still in that same brand of humor that it's really still entertaining. Like, when I first saw John Smith be part of that, I was like, this guy's weird. I don't know, but now I think he's like one of my favorite people in that group.
I was that way with Jacob when he started on there.
Oh, yeah. Because
But I've seen it. He's just like in his own awkward way, kind of.
Right, yeah.
But then I saw for the first 2 prequel Star Wars movies, actually, a live reading with Bruce being the narrator, Jacob and Rahul Kohli,
oh wow,
who's on there all the time, doing a script reading of the entire script, and when they messed up, they would drink.
That's amazing.
Rahul vomits near the end of the Phantom Menace.
Oh gosh.
But Jacob knows so many things line for line. It's honestly impressive in its own way. Like,
wow.
You're so dedicated, and I'm a Star Wars fan too, but you're so dedicated to the franchise that you know line for line the shittiest installments
whoa,
in the universe.
Yippee!
I'm gonna make a very not argumentative. I'm gonna make a very opposite approach to that. And my favorite Star Wars movie has to be The Phantom Menace.
Oh,
because
okay. I've heard that before. But yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, the pod racing is a huge draw to me.
Sure.
There is the sentimental of, that was the first Star Wars movie I ever watched.
Right.
Being born in 95. That's more my timeline.
Right.
But it's the introduction of the characters, it's the scene changes. We don't talk about midichlorians, but that wasn't the worst thing that could have happened. Honestly, Boss Nass is great. I think
I love Boss Nass.
I think all the Gungans that are featured, it's sad that none of them are named and that there's no named Gungans in that movie, but I just, I think it's great.
I will say that Duel of the Fates paired with the fight with Darth Maul is incredible.
That is the best
fight
in Star Wars and most modern film.
The casting of young Obi-Wan as Ewan McGregor, phenomenal. Like, so I think what we just discovered, and I have to rephrase myself now too, because I think I've been convinced. I will still stand by Attack of the Clones is a terrible movie.
Hello there.
Number
2. I don't know. I still prefer it more than any of the new 3.
Oh wait, no, that line was in. Never mind.
Well, let me rephrase that. I actually haven't seen the. Yeah, I think you're thinking of the third one with General.
Yeah, that's right.
I haven't seen.
No, that one's good. I like that one.
The 8th installment.
Oh yeah,
7 and 9 are my least 2 favorites.
I didn't mind 7. I mean, it played off a bunch of old tropes, but
that's what
7
I heard.
is the reason I stopped. I didn't watch 8, and I stopped caring about Star Wars.
Casey, 7 is basically a retelling of 4.
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
like the setup is exactly beyond just being the setup the same. Like, there's an evil galactic force that's the enemy,
and there's a certain spherical object in space.
Yeah. There's this girl that just happens to be like a farmer, like the lowly peasant that's driven to become a hero. It's like the exact same story beats. That being said, I didn't think it was terrible, and
that's okay. Like, everyone's able to have their own opinion.
I will say that I will defend this. I don't think I call them in my opinion, the shittier installments, the prequels. But I won't say they're bad movies, really. I think the problem a lot of people had, a lot of the older fans had that had seen the originals in the theater. So I was born in '89, but my first experience was like kind of with the special editions in the mid '90s.
Oh yeah.
But and just watching, like, whenever my cousin would watch it on TV or something, just being around it. But people wanted the same magic they had when they saw it in 1977 as a 6-year-old kid.
Right. And it wasn't
to happen in 1999 or 98, I forget what year, when they saw little, is the acting, some of the acting isn't great. Like, he's a kid actor though. What's he gonna do?
Well, I feel like that was also sort of a director thing.
Yeah. At least the plot lines are coherent. I will say that over the new movies.
They're coherent throughout that entire movie.
I saw Jumper, which also has Hayden Christensen in it, and I actually really like that movie.
He's not a terrible actor.
No, he's fine.
No, he did. I think I told you, Casey. He did my favorite line when he kills the sand people who abducted his mom.
Yeah.
Like, you read that really well. Like, that the emotion behind that line and everything is really good. I think you're right. I think it's just a problem with one director, because if I recall right, it wasn't George had a team of people. Like, he's like, whoever wants to work with me on Star Wars can work with me. And then they kind of stuck around through the original trilogy as well, because it was like, well, this is a shared project. It's his vision, but he's taking input from other people.
Right.
So it's basically like just having like a story editor or something, which was missing from the prequel films, because he's like, I'm telling my vision. And it's just, I don't know, some of it misses.
Yeah, the Quolls have some really great, they started it all.
Can I be totally honest about something?
Yeah.
I have seen the original trilogy and the sequels exactly once in my entire life.
Okay.
I watched them all once. Every single one I watched once a week. So like start with 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. With my mom and my aunt and uncle. We did that for 6 weeks, and then I've never seen them since. I think that was right after episode 3 came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So we recently, my fiance had only ever seen the sequels. The Han Solo, the Solo, the one.
Yeah.
Which I've seen Solo. I haven't seen Rogue One.
Rogue One's really good.
Yeah, so she's seen those. So she actually saw 8. I have not seen 8, but she's seen 8. So she was like, I want to watch Star Wars because I want to watch The Mandalorian. I'm like, well, if you're going to watch The Mandalorian with me, I'm going to make you watch Star Wars.
Yes.
Still haven't seen The Mandalorian, by the way, because we started at the prequels.
You got to watch it.
I think the prequels are worth starting with, man.
Yeah.
So, The Mandalorian, I've been told. So
everyone's praise was right.
Yeah. 2, getting there. As much as I hate to say it, her favorite one so far is 3. Which,
that's fine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I
think the silliest thing about 3 is that it looks like the guy who was doing the editing discovered Windows Movie Maker for all the transitions.
Oh, he definitely.
We're gonna do a wipe. Another one. We're
gonna do a cross/wipe.
The only thing you need is the star fade transition. YouTube, circa 2000.
There you go.
I don't need that. Yeah.
Well, that's where he learned. Or Daily Motion or whatever it was before YouTube, circa 2000.
Oh, yeah.
Blip.tv.
Yeah.
Blip.tv it was.
Newgrounds.
Oh, there you go. Newgrounds.
She's made it. Oh, dude, Flash
AmishDonkey.com.
If I type that into my web browser, am I getting a virus?
AmishDonkey.com was my first
oh, hey, that domain's
into Flash animation.
That domain
YTMND.com.
What was it?
YTMND.com. You're the man now, dog.com.
Oh, yeah. Or
remember those?
Albino Black Sheep.
Yep.
E-Bombs World. Which still exists, by the way. E-Bombs World is still there. Somehow.
Still kicking, too. In a world of where Flash is starting to be phased out,
Yep.
Newgrounds is still thriving even.
Really?
It seems to be. Oh my gosh.
Someone's got to make those Naruto music videos.
Who knows how long ago? I still have a Newgrounds account, guys.
I don't think I ever made one. I watched a lot of Newgrounds back in the day.
I joined on November 25th of 2007.
Wow. It's ancient history.
I know.
I was 12.
I was not. No, I was 12, actually. I was 12. Yeah. Man. I was not even 13. I illegally checked that box.
All right.
And
what year was I born? 1973. Just sitting it way back.
Yeah, you just pull the drop-down menu and just scroll until you're like, oh, that's fine. That's good enough.
1936? Okay.
All right.
Wow. And reading through the old forums on Newgrounds now while we do the podcast. I feel like I haven't listened to the last episode because I'm saving it for this trip. But there was something about getting banned on Club Penguin.
Oh yeah, we talked about there was a speedrun category once.
Yes.
The world record was something like 29 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fun. Last podcast episode was something.
I can't wait for you guys to keep me company while I drive and figure out where I'm going.
Sounds great.
Isn't it interesting that all these brands and different TV channels and they all had their own little websites back? The internet became commonplace in households in 98, 99. Then all these companies have their own websites. Play your own Flash games at CartoonNetwork.com.
Oh yeah, CartoonNetwork.com was really, really super early.
You can still access a lot of those games too.
I legitimately remember going to that website in 2001. And I know that because I had to, when I was in first grade, I had to make my own web page using the school's website. And there was an extension. So it probably doesn't exist anymore, but it was wssd.k12.pa.us/
I would give anything in the world to be able to have old GeoCities and Angel Fire sites back.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
Yeah, or the old Yahoo sites from back in the day.
Yeah, when you could just create your own website. And I did it for so many stupid things. It's I really like Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm gonna make a Yu-Gi-Oh! Website on GeoCities.
What people don't know is that Google Sites is still a thing.
Is it? Really? Yeah. Oh my god.
It actually is, and I know that.
Desksandorks.org, because I'm a shameless shill for my podcast. That was created on Google Sites.
You mean GeoCities? Or no, Google Sites.
Google Sites.
Okay.
Because Google Sites was the thing that Google came up with because Yahoo GeoCities was so amazing.
Okay. I do know that Angel Fire still exists because not that long ago, and this was on our old podcast, but I checked recently to see if it was still there. There is, I forget which soda it is, but it is some sort of Mountain Dew knockoff that you could find in Cracker Barrel that has an Angel Fire website that still exists. I want to say it's Kickapoo Joy Juice. Don't quote me on that.
Kickapoo Joy Juice. Now I have Tenacious D in my head.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, the same. Oh my god.
Hold on.
Oh man, dude, this website, I'm on Angel Fire currently. Man. I'm going to make a website in minutes.
There you go. Perfect.
That's what the link tells me. Fun fact, the link does not lead anywhere. But build a website now.
This is happening, I guess.
My new website's name. Do you
Kickapoo Joy Juice.
Do you have a website for the podcast yet?
I do not.
Should I livecast create a website?
I think you should.
Let's regroup. I'm not buying a domain right now, if that's okay.
Oh, okay, fine.
We can do that later. For right now, it's going to be letsregroup.angelfire.com, though.
Yes.
Yes!
Perfect. Oops.
Oh, no. We're going to use suggested password based off Google Chrome, so let's hope I never lose it. Oh, man. You know what? Oh, I don't have the phone with me. Never mind. I bought a burner phone to take with me because I don't want my phone with me while I'm camping.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
I just don't want to get emails from like work and everything.
What happened?
Oh, we've lost. Okay, we did.
Okay.
Nothing weird or unusual happened here. What are you talking about?
Nope, nothing at all. I'm still trying to find that website. This is what I do in my life.
I used Casey. I went to when we were recording and we had that one video with the little technical issue with the cord.
Uh-huh.
I was editing it together, and I thought, what's going to be funny? So I searched for a bunch of 90s old website tropes you would find.
Okay.
And I found a picture of someone's sign the guest book. So I edited that in. And under my favorite from back in the day, and under construction little sign where it's come back later, and the website's under construction for 3.5 years. It's just sitting there doing nothing.
Perfect.
And I think I used a clip from The Simpsons too, but I forgot.
Guys, I just wanted to tell you that it tells you it's free, and then it immediately makes you put in a card to pay for a subscription plan.
Oh, lame.
So, I still want to create us. I might just have to make us a Google Sites now.
I'll put it in the links too.
Yeah.
If it happens quick enough, I guess.
No, look for the other old hosts that hosting services.
I'm telling you, use
we give you 50 megabytes of storage.
Ah, man.
All I'm say is I hate WordPress so much that I'm not touching WordPress.
I can analyze all my favorite Friends episodes.
Yes.
And Ally McBeal.
Oh, Wix.
I like the dancing baby.
Good old Wix.
What? Wix?
Yeah, Wix is a website maker.
Oh, yeah, that's right, it is.
That was one of the older ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Hey, so I think we've reached the point where now we're just doing stuff. So maybe it's time we end off this episode.
We have to register it with a .cjb.net web address though.
Gosh.
Because that is the real old school shit.
There you go. And you can only access this website if you have Netscape Navigator.
Oh man, it's gonna be so difficult to throw in the HTML, but we got the.
Make sure there's also a download link to get Kid Pix Deluxe.
That sounds very bad, but I know what you're talking about.
I don't like any of that.
It was early 2000s era Photoshop for children.
I don't like the name of that at all.
No, it's they didn't think that one through.
No, they really did.
The only way that you can access us online, our website, you have to use AOL, but you have to run it off a CD.
Oh,
one
yeah.
of your free hours. It's the only way.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm almost tempted to pay this $3 subscription just to create that. Oh man. Just to get an Angel Fire website with 100 megabytes of disk space.
God.
$3 a month though.
1,000 free hours. Make sure your mom isn't using the telephone while you're accessing the internet, or you're gonna have a bad time.
$2.99 for the first minute, $9.99 for every minute after the first minute.
Yep.
Get your parents' permission before calling.
It's like how you used to be able to pay for RuneScape subscriptions by calling the phone number and billing it to the phone.
What? That's amazing. I didn't know that.
What kind of sorcery is that?
There are so many people that would just if they're over at a friend's school, yeah, and you would just jot down the code real quick that they'd read to you.
Oh my god.
You'd be playing RuneScape at school while charging the school's phone number?
Little do you know, even though I'm supposed to be writing a Word document in computer class, I'm actually selling potatoes in the Grand Exchange.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck you, Mrs. Wykowski.
Well, you said about, like, you remember the 2001 going to the Cartoon Network website?
Uh-huh.
In 2001 was the first time I ever played RuneScape.
Is it that old? I didn't even know it was that old.
It came out in 2000 or 99.
Wow.
I think it was developed in 99. It came out in 2000. The old RuneScape Classic is what it's called now. But my brother used to play. So I just remember playing that like once on his account with him and just hating it so much. And now I have RuneScape on my toolbar, and I am apparently a tool.
I guess
I remember around that time playing, like, I think I had Quake 2. Yeah, Quake 2 online on the GameSpy network, if that rings any bells.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
The one that looked... The incognito mode symbol of today.
Yeah.
I bought a game off GameSpy, and I'm still pissed because I can't get it back ever.
That's a fair point.
And it was on an old computer, so it's not even like I can like pull the file. Yeah, man, I bought Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Hey. Well, I always used to figure out how to access all the codes to get Big Head mode by using GameSpy's 2003 list of cheat codes book.
Oh yeah, was it one of those little books?
Yeah, like the ones that are
pocket-sized ones,
like weirdly tall.
Yeah,
the ones that you get from like the 4-page pamphlet you get at school.
The
Scholastic Book Fair. Yeah.
Yes, that's how I unlocked everything in GoldenEye for the N64.
There you go.
Put the old Game Shark on invincibility mode.
So,
clear every mission.
Guys, just because I'm still on Angel Fire's website.
Absolutely.
They currently have the free signups closed.
Aww.
But it does still exist. They apparently have an entry, but I don't know how to actually sign up for it because it only gives me the option for basic and the plan.
The plan.
That's the name. Yeah, so for $11.40 a year, you get web shell editor. You get a bunch of stuff that nobody cares about. But for the free, you get 20 megabytes. For entry, you get 40 megabytes of disk space.
Oh my god, that's so much space. We could do so much with that. We can have one GIF.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm trying to process this, so give me a second. $11.40 a year? What the fuck kind of number is that?
Well, it's
only 95 cents a month.
It's translated from euros.
Oh my god!
It's actually so antiquated. They still use the Swiss franc.
That's actually the modern equivalent of 17 chickens. Did you know?
I should have known. That makes sense.
So basic is $2.95 a month, or $32.45. You get 100 megabytes of disk space.
Oh my god! Then 100 megabytes.
We lose the old concept, and you go to the plan, $9.95 a month, $109.45. What is with 40 cents yearly? And you just get 5 gigabytes of disk space. Like, I'm kind of upset about.
I've never even heard of that before. What is that? What's a gigabyte? Is it like a gigawatt?
I think it's more powerful.
Oh.
I just really love the fact that one of the things that you get for being a free member is you get page views.
Oh, sweet!
Meaning that people
they have view bots.
Oh, is it like that counter, like the odometer on old cars?
Yeah,
that they put on the bottom.
I need to throw one of those on my website now.
Atheist vote bots.
Ah, man.
Reading my videos.
Congratulations, you're the 999,999th visitor.
Click here, sexy women in your area.
I really wish I could find like these website builders that we've been talking about, because I would totally create you guys a 2000s website.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
Make
I might
sure-
have to do it on Google Sites because that's been around a while. It doesn't have the same ring to it.
MP3s take too long to upload. Use MIDI sound files only.
Use .ogs.
Oh my god!
Give me a program that I can even record that with?
You could do that in Audacity.
That's true.
Or at least you can save them as .ogs.
It took me learning a little bit more about PCs to understand why, like, I had to be able to run virtual machines for old CD-ROMs.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're literally dealing with technology that's, like, not so old, but so outdated that, like, a modern computer, it's reading a language it doesn't understand. It's like, what the fuck even is this? Why are you trying to have me run this program? I don't know what this is.
Why are you booting up the command prompt?
Invalid action.
The only time I ever used Virtual Machine was to play Logical Journey of the Zombinis.
That sounds amazing. I used to use Virtual
Machine that sounds
all the time because I would pull up let's pull up Windows 95 on my Windows XP computer because I feel like a hacker because I'm 12.
Yeah.
Nah, I gotta use Windows ME, the Champions program.
3.1.
I did it for Sonic R. Terrible Sonic racing game. Because everybody's Supersonic racing. Yes!
Does it brighten up your day?
I was just driving through town and the song from that album came on.
It's midnight and I'm tired.
Oh god, imagine midnight, guys.
Just imagine me driving through town with Can You Feel the Sunshine playing, windows down, middle of summer, middle of the day.
Middle finger up.
Oh, it might as well have been. Can you feel the sunshine?
Okay, guys. Unrelated. Did you know the Space Jam website still?
Yes, they keep it up out of spite.
Yeah.
What even is the website? I actually can't find it anymore.
Michael Jordan is paying 30 cents a year to keep that up.
There it is. So, the reason that I'm trying to find and steal HTML from one of these old sites. So I don't have to completely craft a 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s themed site.
Stealing HTML? Are you shuffling through the code for spare bandwidth or something?
Shh.
That's it.
Warner Brothers, I'm pulling their tagline on my website.
There you go.
That's it. I'm calling the cyber police.
Oh no. Haha, it's a good thing I can click buttons really quickly.
Haha, Miami. Miami.
Oh, thank you, Will Smith.
You guys know that? The meltdown of Jessie Curley, where her dad's yelling at 4chan.
Whoa,
She was being her.
What?
This young teenage girl was fucking around on. This is back in the early 2000s.
Was it Boxy?
On 4chan. No, it was before Boxy.
Okay.
Jesse Slaughter. But there's a great video where she's crying and her parents are with her in the room. Not that she's crying is funny, but her dad is just so enraged. He's like, I want all you to know who've been messing with her, I backtraced it. And you've been reported to the cyber police. And if any of you come around, that's the end from her father. He's just
It's amazing.
You gotta check out the video. I'll put it in the links. It's wonderful.
If we're gonna do that, we should also put in the links the video, the clip from Oprah about 4chan.
Okay.
Something have you heard about this? It was on an episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show where she talks about Anonymous, and it's
fucking Harpo.
No, it was she you know how Oprah used to open a show? Either she comes out on a skateboard and is like, yeah, everything's rad, everybody gets a car, or it's she opens up with incredibly solemn, sad facts. And it was she opened up a show with something like, what is the 4chan? They are a group of elite criminals. And they have over 9,000 penises, and they're all raping children. And she actually said this on her show.
elite hacksaw skills.
I
gotta see that clip now.
Oh my god,
I've gotta see.
It's ridiculous.
Guys, the HTML for this website's pretty terrifying.
Is it in Leet speak?
Yeah.
No, it's in 1996 HTML. That's worse.
Oh, it's ugly.
Let me just
Caption A equals href question mark.
I know you drew I think for your Let's Regroup you have all those little heads.
Uh-huh.
You don't have them all as separate pictures, do you?
I don't, but I have the Adobe Illustrator file. Because
if you can throw them on Imgur, I may be able to put them on the website.
Yes.
As I'm. Oh man, if I don't do this now, I am never going to create this website. But man, if I do this now, this is going to be the greatest website.
Here, hold on. I'll throw in the picture. Hold on a second. Let me get it. We're still recording this show. I hope you know that. This is our longest episode to date.
Well, part of me feels like we should end the episode and then record we totally accidentally make a website ripping off Space Jam and make that as a video only as they watch me just learn. Oh man, is there a way that you can, because I don't know how, I don't have any link editor other than MS Paint, and you've seen how I am with MS Paint. Can you make each one an individual face?
I mean, I could.
If you don't want to, I understand.
Why do you need them in individual faces?
Because that way, the Space Jam website has a galaxy.
Okay. Are you going to do a tile? Are you going to do a tile background? You absolute madman.
I want each face. And then, you can click on the face, and, it could either bring a bio of the person, or better, take it to a completely different website.
We're ending this podcast now.
Alright, guys. There you had it. Let's regroup. Or no, wait, I don't have a name yet. We'll get the website
link.
Let's
regroup.angelfire.biz.
No, sadly, we're not doing Angelfire because that costs money. I'm doing Google Sites.
That's
and I'm
fine.
Just pulling the entire HTML in and just using it as a service.
There you go. Okay, well,
find us on them internets.
This episode got so goofy at the end. I love it. So, dying. So, for myself and Rolls and Riley, this has been the Let's Regroup podcast. Thank you for listening, and as always, you're welcome, Internet.